We're previewing Manchester United's next match against Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford. It's a big one. The games are coming thick and fast for Ruben Amorim and his Red Devils, sir. 2 days rest after the Arsenal game, but we're right back at it. Would have hoped the FA could have moved this game to Sunday. Why not? They love fucking Manchester United. They love fucking all the teams, let's be honest. They don't give a shit about the players. Anyone that's running the global football operations, not the point. Either way, big month for Manchester United. Big month of huge games. Forget the Arsenal. Let's talk about Nottingham Forest. They're up and flying. You know, they're doing great football, way above us in the table. Chris Wood, number 3 in the Golden Boot racer, behind Haaland and Salah. So he's going to be in fine form headed up to Manchester. Big game for United. Can't wait. Got to get 3 points because December's a tough month.
Nuno's men heading to Old Trafford again. It's going to be a home game against a team we should be beating. It will be a frisky contest between us and Nottingham Forest. Obviously, Chris Wood off the mark. But look, Marcus Rashford is now off the mark for Manchester United. I feel like the mojo is back and the Stretford end is arising. So we're going to be up to the task at home. Absolutely buzzing for December football. Can I get my 12 cantonas, sir? We got to be warming up our voices because there's going to be lots of singing, lots of eggnog, dark gales, etc. I'm just excited for the holidays. It's cold. It's dark. It's going to be windy in Manchester, and we're going to be watching some solid football. 2 matches a week. We're going to be working overtime at this podcast, getting you all the breakdowns and previews and all the fun clips, sir. But quick PSA for the podcast. You like the American Red Devils, please check out our YouTube channel. Got it off the ground this summer, and we're still running strong into December. We got all of our match previews and fun topics. We just addressed the ticket price hike. That video's on our YouTube channel. If you visit our channel, please make sure to like and subscribe. Help the algorithm, help other Muppets like yourself find the American Red Devils. We've been doing it for so long, giving you that Muppet take from the couch. Absolutely love our YouTube. Also, check out our Patreon page. Patreon is a great way for fans who want to go above and beyond and support independent fan content to back us. We don't have any sponsors. We don't waste your time with ads on the podcast, and we can do that thanks to our amazing Patreon community of over 100 members strong. Check it out, patreon.com/American Red Devils. Also, check out our store. Grab some merch. It's cold outside. Grab a scarf, grab a hat, hoodie, trucker, beanie, etc. Everything you buy supports the podcast, and this guy will ship it to you himself. Keep Alex busy. Alex and the elves and the Excuse Factory elves in his garage. Keep them busy all winter long. Buy some merch. You know you need to do it to support the podcast. Check out our website, AmericanDevils.com, and iTunes reviews, sir.
He's feeling frisky. This quarter Portuguese, he's feeling frisky. iTunes reviews and 5-star reviews of the American Devils podcast. Wherever you listen, it's a great way to support the pod. It helps us get found organically by other top Muppets like yourself. And we're giving away free merch. All you have to do is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify and send a screenshot of that review to AmericanDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address. I will personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. We got the holiday album cover up. Stan Chow designed. Love it. Looking great, sir. We got a big game on Saturday. Nottingham Forest. European title winners twice. Unbelievable stuff. Let's get into it.
Talking Nottingham Forest, sir. There's some history in them trees. United heavy favorites according to Google's AI machine, but we shall see. Playing Old Trafford, the Holy Trinity statue, sir. What a place, what a stadium. Can't wait to go in January. Weather. Give us the weather report for Nottingham Forest.
Oh, it's going to be a evening kickoff, right? So it's 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. So they're going to kick it off right around 5:30. And we're talking low 40s, chance of rain, lovely Manchester weather, sir. What's not to like? And we're doing Alex's Scram Watch. We're going to Manchester. We're eating pies, baby. It's pie weather. It's going to be dark. It's going to be wet. It's going to be cold. This food's...
What are the green? What's the mash? What's the mashed green things here?
They're called peas, and they're very popular in England. One of those mashed green. This guy, gourmand over here.
Oh my God, I don't know, hey, sir. You know,
not a fan of Pie Master.
Hey, you know what you need when you eat
top 15%,
sir.
Top 15%.
You're eating mashed peas. You know what you need with those? You need gravy and a
Vinegar.
dark ale.
And
You're
vinegar.
ready to go.
That's right. Pie Master Deansgate. Check it out. I think John and I
How
will...
many pies you eating, sir? 4, 4.5, over under 4.5 pies.
10.
Let's go.
I'll eat
All
10
right.
of those as long as I don't have to eat a single one from Old Trafford.
Nottingham Forest, founded 1865. Lots of history. They have 2 European Cups to our 3. We got to do better than that. We got to be better than that, sir. They're only one of 6 clubs to ever won the European Cup, so a big deal. That's why they got the 2 stars above that tree. Something tells me they can update that logo. Its most successful period was under the management of Brian Clough and Peter Taylor in the late 70s, early 80s. That's when they won those 2 stars on their badge. Their main rivalry is Derby County, who they contest the East Midlands Derby. But they're here, and they're ready to go. You got to be watching out for their main man. I felt like he's brought the mojo back. Nuno Espírito Santo, 50-year-old Portuguese coach. Managed Wolves, sir. Tell us about him.
He managed Wolves. That's how most of us know it. He's 4 years there after they got promoted from the Championship into the Premier League. Briefly manager of Spurs for around 4 months, and then he was quickly fired after a bad start there, and then he joined Forest around a year ago in December of 2023 as they were in the relegation zone. He kept them up. He kept them in 17th place. They were 6 points off the drop, 1 place off the drop, and now all of a sudden they're fucking flying, sir. It's unbelievable. They won't be able to keep it up, but they're playing some good football, and they're beating up a lot of teams that gave United trouble early in the season.
Tell me about his tactics, sir.
Pragmatic. His style involves a number of key elements, 3 key topics. One's quick transitions. He likes to use pacey players. We know those players, right? I.e. Alanga to move from defense to the final third of the field in a short amount of time. Wide pressing traps. Use wide pressing trap to suffocate the opposing team in the wide zones and regain possession. And he likes to do a congested midfield. I think we've seen this definitely in our past meetups with Forest. Likes to have the middle of the park very, very congested, hard to pass through. We know what to expect, sir. They're going to be super compact.
We struggled with that in the Ipswich game as well,
have,
so it's something to watch out for. As far as players that they have signed, nobody of note. A few Portuguese players, English. Anderson in central midfield, Milinkovic center back. He looks like he's got some bridge troll in him, but not a lot of signings, and Nuno's been doing a good job with it.
No, and they're like a solid buying and selling club. They do well. They make a nice little profit, buy a bunch of players. They've sold players who, like you said, haven't even heard of. But Milinkovic is a player that actually United was attracted to way back when, and Elliot Anderson, highly rated midfielder out of Newcastle, but they've done well. Obviously they had that scare last year in 17th place, almost getting relegated, having to bring in a new manager. But from what I've seen since they've been in the Premier League is they seem like a well-run club, and they're back in the Premier League for a reason.
In recent form for Nottingham Forest, they have beat Leicester City, beat West Ham. They got pipped by Newcastle. Arsenal cooked them 3-0, and they did beat Ipswich. We are recording this podcast early in the week for scheduling purposes, so they are playing City tomorrow. We haven't. This is before the Arsenal match, so we don't know the result or injuries are related to that when we're kind of picking the 11, but they're on a good run. They dealt with Ipswich. We drew Ipswich. Like you said, Chris Wood has been a huge component of that as well.
He has. He's been in unbelievable form. I actually can't believe it. Like I said, he's third in the EPL goal and boot race. Obviously, it's early days in the season still, but he's only got 2 names in front of him, and they're big names in Erling Haaland and Mo Salah. So he's playing really good football. They are very, very fast on the counter. They defend well. They're really good off the ball. They're compact. Like I said, he likes to choke that midfield, and it's going to be a real challenge for United, especially with the injury to Luke Shaw. We would have loved to have him come in. The suspensions are up, which is good. The players that were suspended for the game against Arsenal and Kobe Mainoo and Lisandro Martinez will be back, but the left wing back is still an issue with Luke Shaw immediately down. I mean, that's something we should talk about that.
Not surprised.
Immediately down.
But like you said, they are going with the 4-2-3-1. This was something United always stuck to. Hudson-Odoi, watch out. Chris Wood, watch out. Gibbs-White has also been off the mark for them. I think you can get at that back line, though. If you really look at their weakness, it's probably in the middle of the park. That attack can punish United, but we got to focus on our game, not necessarily worrying about Nottingham Forest. We have only lost to them once since they're returning to the EPL in 22-23, so they either could be due, but the big player to watch, like you've mentioned, is Chris Wood, Old English, aka New Zealand.
You could have fooled me.
That
that blockhead, you could have gone either way.
He looks like an Old English blockhead, but he's actually New Zealander blockhead.
Kiwi. He's a Kiwi.
Sir, tell me about him. Like you've already talked about it. 74 caps, 34 goals for Nottingham Forest. This year seems to be his best year, and 9 goals, 13 matches. Can't believe he's among the stars in Holland and Salah. Holland's been off the mark, but Salah's just getting free penalties. He's padding the stats.
That's what they do. Chris Wood, he's like a journeyman. He's kind of popped around the EPL, always putting a shift in. Kind of player that like United in his scrappy days would pick up as a third or fourth striker because he's good for 10 goals a year. So good for him on having a flyer of a start to the season. I'm sure he won't be able to keep that up, but hopefully we can stifle him when he comes to Old Trafford on Saturday, because I think if we can keep him quiet, that's a good start.
Ref watch, Darren England, never managed a United game, never reffed a United game. Former championship ref, kind of working his way up as, the EPL refs are kind of...
doing blow.
getting the boot from, like, video controversies.
Oh, my God.
But
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
He is solid hairline for referee, I would say.
Must have been to Turkey.
Looks fit, looks, like he isn't going to give us any calls. That's basically all I got there. Never reffed a game, so we're gonna get to know him, right?
I feel like the guys you haven't heard of usually ref the game better than the guys with the big names, like the Martin Tyler. Like the more you know about a ref name, the worse of a ref they are. So if I haven't heard of you, if you're new, he's probably got less of an ego and just wants to call a straight game and hopefully let them play. Because I think the more they let the team play, the more fun it is, and the more players don't dive because they just know it's not going to be kind of allowed. So let's see it. Just play, baby.
I feel like you shouldn't know refs.
No, you shouldn't. Exactly.
But we talk about them because it's an issue.
Well,
that's part of the problem. It wasn't always an issue when we were getting all the calls and all the stoppage time.
We knew that
added on.
We knew that ref. We knew that
Howard
ref.
Webb, baby.
Howard Webb. He's like our boy.
Giving us all the calls. Like,
all
let's go.
I mean, we got a lot of calls.
It's nice when it happens, but United hasn't gotten a lot of calls. And speaking of calls, we got to be working through this 11, the 3-4-3 from Ruben Amorim against Everton. We brought out Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez, Diallo, Mainu, Casemiro, Delo, Rashford, Fernandez, Xerxes. What would you change or adjust in this 3-4-3 for Nottingham Forest?
I mean, I think this is going to be pretty close, to be honest. I think the changes we made against Arsenal went more defensively, right? You drop, obviously Manu wasn't available, but you opt for Ugarte. I think Manu stays in. Maybe Højlund goes to back-to-back, but I think even with 2 days rest off Arsenal, it will be Xerxes because I see Højlund playing against the Gunners at the Emirates. So I'm making no changes from this 11, sir. What do you got?
I would like to get my Mason Money Mount in here. I'd like to see Bruno, Rashford, and Mount start a game. I think that would be interesting. And against a team like Nottingham Forest with Rashford in the pace and behind and Mason Mount and Bruno pulling the strings, something's got to click. They're going to find the magic. And like when you see those three kind of play well together, I think you're going to see United play very well. So I'm hoping I can get my boy, Mason Mount. It's only 2 years in the making. He's going to come good. The money's going to come good. Mason Money Mount, let's go. Come on, Mason Mount. Let's go.
He's a hell of a player.
It's like he doesn't play for United. It's like almost like he doesn't play for us. But he's like a great player.
He's like a new signing. He's like a new signing because he's been injured his entire United career, hasn't got off the mark in terms of like finding his feet, but he's a hell of a player. We know he's a hell of a player. All these other clubs wanted him in addition to United. So I think Ruben can make the most out of everything he has.
And Amorim likes him, for the record. Right?
Ruben likes players.
Like giving him compliments.
He knows how to big up a player. He knows the real guys. He knows Bruno's a real one. Like, he knows Ahmad's a real one.
To give him a shout out like that, he was like he wants it bad.
But
he's a dog.
He gets the mind game too, which is like you have to feed them so they keep working hard, so they keep grinding. Like give them the shine so they keep pushing. This guy knows he's the real one. He is the real deal. He is the man manager. He understands what players need when they need it.
Here comes the money.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Let's go. Soundboard, snorting soundboard over here, sir.
Wild card,
watch
bro.
out, watch out. Let's go. What do we got? The odds. Here comes. Sorry, do it again. Here we go.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
It was so loud, I can't even comprehend. It's like when I scream into the mic. Okay, United.
We don't have a producer on the audio.
you
It's like
think?
we're literally
You-
doing it
you
ourselves.
think
So
it's
like
just me
the
and
audio
John.
is going to be as good as it's going to be.
All right, United.
Do it live. Let's go.
Big favorites against Forest at home. I think too big of favorites, to be honest, given that they're sticks. But we're minus 155 at home, plus 300 for the draw, and plus 410 for Nottingham Forest. I think I'm up first. You went first last time, so I'm going to call a Muppet victory. It's going to be a tight one, 1-0 Manchester United against Forest, 3 points. What you got?
This game has draw on top. They're scoring goals. I would love to be proven wrong, and I just feel like, the 4-0 against Everton is probably going to be against the rub. I think we're playing well, but if you looked at the XG, we were closer, and a team like Forest is going to be maybe a little as dangerous or more than us, given Chris Wood's in form. I'm going to go 1-1. Nottingham Forest, just be a little more on the conservative side, sir.
There you go. Even Ruben said it's like we were better than probably the 3-2 against Bodo Glimt. We weren't quite as good as the 4-0 against Everton. They probably deserved more. You watched that game. We were good. We were definitely better than Everton. We weren't 4-0 good.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's going to work out itself over time, but I think it'll be a tight match. It could go either way.
Great. That is it. That's the preview podcast for the Nottingham Forest match. If you like the podcast, please check out our store, americadolls.store. Pick up some swag, a hat, scarf. Got tons of different items there. Also, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/AmericaRedDevils. And check out our YouTube. We just got off the ground this summer. You like YouTube, search us americadolls.com. Like, subscribe. I looked it up, like only 80% of the people that watch our videos actually subscribe to our channel. So we could do a lot better on that front. So smash the subscribe, like, drop a comment below. Really helps the momentum of the podcast. Keep us going here. Amron, we're back, baby. You want to get on this train early because we're going places with this manager and this team. So, sir, give us our top $10 last 7 days.
I agree, sir. We are going places.
Finally.
Ruben's Red Army. We're ready to rock. Let's get into it. Top 10 cities last 7 days. Number 1, how you doing? Los Angeles, California. Chicago, Illinois. Dublin, Ireland. New York. Brooklyn, New York. Philadelphia, PA. Melbourne, Australia. Oslo, Norway. Manchester, England. And last but not least, Houston, Texas. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. We'll see you after the Forest game. A lot of football coming down the chute. December is going to be a fun one. We'll see you all next time.
We've seen it all. We've won the lot, sir.